am so excited about tonight's call and kickoff for this new series. I kind of placed it in the group, like what it's going to be about, but basically over the next few weeks, we're going to have different leaders just come on and just pour into us. Just at a more holistic standpoint as an entrepreneur. So looking at mindset, balance, organization, struggles, just really different things, delayed gratification, vacation, all these things really help us to become the best entrepreneurs that we can. So I thought that Tierra would be the perfect person to kick things off for us. I'm going to let her introduce herself and just talk about her journey before it works, about her family, whatever you want to share, T. You can go ahead and get started.
Okay. First, I want to say thank you so much for having me on this call tonight. I really appreciate you thinking of me. And I'll go right into my story. So basically for me, straight out of high school, I went to college like most to get my bachelor's degree. Everyone who was influential in my life always told me that if I ever wanted to be successful or see success, that I needed to go to college and get educated there. So I went straight through. I got my bachelor's and master's degree because I'm type A personality, and I felt like if I could just go ahead and knock it out, then go ahead and do it. So did that, and I was so proud of myself, and I got my first big girl job, and I call it that because it was like my first salary paying position. And I got the offer letter, and I was like, okay, like, what is this? Like, where are the other, dollar signs? Like, this is not enough. So at the time, it was just me. I wasn't married. I didn't have any children. So I was like, okay, I can, rock with this for now. However, I knew that eventually I would have to do something different to make more. So I accepted the position knowing that I would not be there for long. So I took that position that was in foster care. FYI, my degrees were in psychology and social work. So I took that job, and I ended up changing jobs within like a year, or like right after my year mark there. And I became an outpatient therapist, which I thought was like my dream job, y'all. Like, I thought it was my dream job. And I remember my first day at that job, guys. And I talked to my supervisor, who was actually one of my professors from college. And he actually took he gave me that position because he knew my work ethic. But basically, in talking to him, and I don't ever share this part, but in talking to him, he actually sat in my face and was like, I gave you this position because you're naive. So like basically it was easy to get you. You're going to accept basically whatever I offer you. So this is why I gave you this position. And the words just rung in my head, and it was just like, this is not the place for me. So the day after I started that position, I found out I was pregnant with my daughter. And so as you guys know, my heart dropped. Like, I was like, oh my God, I'm not where I need to be. Like, I was so scared. And I ended up going right back to that foster care job. So I don't know if you guys, have heard the saying of, if you don't get what God has intended for you to receive while you're there, you're going to, go back, and basically. And that's what I noticed when I went back to that job. So went back there, stayed there another year. While there, I decided to enroll into a doctoral program because I felt like the more education I have, if I could get a little bit more, maybe I'll see the success that I was supposed to see before. And while doing that, I was actually able to transition jobs, and I became an school social worker. And so I was very excited about that because that meant that I would have like a little taste of freedom now within my field. I was used to being on call. I could come home at like 5:30 p.m. and have to walk out the door at 5:35 p.m. if my phone rang the moment I walked through the door. Mind you, my daughter, like I had her at that point. My husband worked too, so that was like a lot on me. So right before switching to that social work job, I was introduced to the business on Facebook. One of my cheer sisters from college kept talking about this amazing opportunity she started, and I literally watched her for 6 months without opening my mouth to say anything. We always fuss with her and tell her, like, why didn't you tell me before? Like, I could have been, further along, but it's okay because if she would have told me before, I wouldn't have listened. So you started the business at the perfect time for you. So I got started right after speaking to her. After 6 months, I had saw her traveling. I had saw her husband quit his part-time job, which he was working to make ends meet. Her youngest was like 2 weeks old when she started the business. So that showed me like, okay, she has 2 kids here. You have one If she can do it, you can do it. She was working. They had begun to travel more. So of course, with more travel, you become happier. What else? She was quitting her full-time job after 6 months in the business because she had started around the double good bonus time. So at that point in the business, they were giving like double the bonuses that people are receiving right now. And she had made like $80,000 in bonuses within her first 6 months in the business. So that just blew me away. And I just had to become a part of this amazing opportunity. So I just stepped out on faith and did it. I was scared. I was anxious. I was like, oh my God, what are people going to think? Oh my God, what if I fail at this? I can't fail at this. So there were so many thoughts and feelings going through my mind when I got started. But all I wanted was just an extra $500 a month, y'all. That's literally what I got started for. And the reason why is because that same 1K bonus they're offering this month, they were offering that my first month in. And it was like, if I could just get that 1K bonus, like that's 1K I don't have. And honestly, y'all, right after I started the business, my daughter ended up fracturing her arm. It wasn't like a fracture, like a break, but it was like a buccal fracture. Her bone in her wrist bit. And basically she had to go to the doctor, get x-rays and all that stuff, have a cast on. So I feel like a lot of parents would have taken that time and backed up from their business, like, can't do this anymore because my baby hurt her wrist and I can't do this. But at that point, I kept going and the weekly bonuses started rolling in. My first month in the business, y'all. And I didn't have to worry about doing a payment plan for those bills. I didn't have to worry about like, oh my God, how are we going to pay for this? I had those weekly bonuses that came right on time to handle that situation. So my first month in, I was able to promote to Ruby. I received that 1K bonus. I signed my husband up because I was like, this is crazy. If I can get 2 checks, why not? So signed him up. His second month in the business, he promoted to Ruby. He also got the 1K bonus as well. I worked the business for both of us because for those out there wondering, I worked the business for both me and him. He's not really present on social media, and I'm okay with that. So that was that. Went to my first conference. Actually, I went to One Team, One Mission with Ronnie Brown in Baltimore. Cammie was there, and I was still working on my doctorate at this point. And she basically she said, like, your doctor, if you're working toward a doctor or another degree, that degree is going to be there. But right now, this business is booming, and you're digging yourself deeper in debt to get that degree. So she was like, I'm not telling you to stop, going to school and, pursuing your education. But if you're able to make X amount of dollars per month, why not, use this source of income and pay for your way through college, pay for that other degree that you want. So that just really turned a light bulb for me. I decided that I was going to get like my second master's degree because that was like a part of my program. And I decided to stop at that point. And I'm glad I did because y'all, I'm going to tell y'all in a minute. So then I went to the conference, the first conference I ever went to. There I saw all of the African-American millionaires and people who were making 6K and people who were doctors and lawyers and accountants and teachers and therapists. And it was like, wow, I've never seen anything like this before. They're leaving their jobs to do this business that I just sort of, $500 from it would be enough for me. So when I saw that, I've always been the type of person to think like, if they can do it, I can do it. So that's exactly what I did. I promoted to the 5th rank in the business in April of last year. And I received $41,000 in bonuses within my first year in the business. I exceeded my full-time income times like 2, maybe 3 as a school social worker. And I was able to retire myself. I was not going to retire myself, y'all. I was so scared. I was not going to retire myself because I feel like we're always taught to get that good city job or something and just stay there. But I was supposed to get a raise for getting my second master's degree. And my human resources office basically told me they would give me an extra $200 per year. Yes, you heard that right. So I was like ticked off and I was like, this cannot, like, are you kidding me? And if you just think about it, a year later, had it been a year earlier, or had I said no to the opportunity, I would have had to like take that extra 200 and just like go with it. I would have still been working toward my doctorate, knowing that it wasn't going to give me any income on the back end. So I came home, I looked at my dream board, I weighed out the pros and cons, and I was like, God is telling me to do this full time. I don't know what he wants me to do here in this business, but I feel like he's pushing me in this direction. So I decided to retire myself. That was June of last year. So I've literally been sustaining my life and my family off of this income for a year. And it just blows my mind. But yeah, that's my story.
So I love hearing your story. I'm over here. I just love it. I love it.
And I love you, Trinita.
So Tierra is one of my accountability partners, and I don't have this written down, T, but really quickly, can you talk about the importance of having accountability? Even though we are, we have that red in us. I know you're like completely a red and you don't need, someone to push you or tell you to do stuff, but how important is accountability for you in your business?
Man, y'all, I thought I didn't need that. I was literally like, when I saw Jasmine was called on a surf and turf today, I literally started crying. I was looking out the window in my room and I'm like, wow, like if Jazz wouldn't have hit me up on Facebook, and I just started thinking back. I'm about to cry now. I started thinking back. I'm pregnant, y'all, so I get a pass. But I started thinking back and I'm like, yo, like she pushed me so hard, because I remember you were just because Reds are competitive by nature. And I remember you were texting me about the one conference, little excursions and stuff like that. You were like, T, I'm trying to get on this boat. I'm trying to go to this private cocktail. And like, because you sent me that, like it just gave me so much fire. I needed that, because although I had people I talked to or people who I knew aren't leaving the business and stuff like that, I didn't have that competition, it's not like competition, because it's not like we working against each other. It's like that healthy competition that you need, y'all. And it's so important for you to be equally yoked with the person that you are, that is your accountability partner. Because I feel like a lot of times people are just put together and they're just not compatible. So you may end up, backsliding yourself because you see that your accountability partner ain't doing nothing. So I feel like it's so important to have somebody to just check in with somebody and be like, hey, I got 2 LCs. I'm doing this. Hey, what do you think about this? Like, just to have someone to bounce your ideas off of, because as you all know, or you will know, this is a long learning process. So you're constantly learning, and it's always good to be able to learn with someone else. So yes, I definitely appreciate that.
Listen, I was so afraid. So if you guys don't know, we're going to move on to the next question. Jasmine is going to ask you the next question. But I found Tierra on YouTube looking up how to go Ruby. She had a video on YouTube, and I literally was like, man, I like her. Like, I like her energy. I like her spirit. Like, I'm gonna find her. And I literally messaged her on Facebook, y'all. Like, did the same thing with Yami. I just reach out to people, and you never know. Like, you never know. And I'm just so thankful that, even though I felt like a stalker, that relationship, like, it was God sent. So I'm super thankful for you, T, because you we think totally different about certain things, but it's always things that the other one needs to hear. So it's a perfect balance. So I'm super thankful for you, as you know. And like she said, she's pregnant with her second baby. She's having a baby boy, and she has a husband and a daughter. So I'm excited for you and the growing family. Jasmine, can you go ahead and ask the next question that we have for Tierra? Are you there, Jazz?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Hope you guys can understand me. I'm a little sick, so.
You're good.
You're good.
So my question is, what struggles did you face when you were starting your business, and what struggles have you faced since you have reached your leadership level ranks, and how did you overcome them?
Okay, so struggles when I first started, I immediately realized that a lot of people weren't going to support, and I took some time a couple of months ago, or maybe weeks ago, and I scroll all the way back to when I first started the business. Y'all, my posts were horrible. Like, I was shady in the posts. Like, I was mad because people weren't supporting me. I wish, oh my God, what's that dude? I can't, because I can't even think of it. I can't think of it quick enough. But it was like this little face, like, I was just putting some petty posts out there, like when people tell you they're gonna text you back and they don't, or they're gonna order and they don't. Like, it was so petty, and I've grown in so many different ways. So that was one of the struggles, realizing like, okay, Tierra, people still not gonna support you if you post and stuff like that. So I learned to stop doing that. Yes, very shady girl. Hold on, someone is not muted.
Hold on, T, 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're good. Go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
Yes. I'm not that person no more, y'all. I'm not. But yeah, it was very shady in the beginning. I also was like thinking like that struggle of thinking like, oh, she's not my real friend, because my real friend wouldn't, like she would support me, or she wouldn't talk about the products that I have to offer and stuff like that. My friends were texting me and saying like, Tierra, you changed and stuff like that. When I did start posting more positive things and stuff like that, they started texting me and saying like, you changed. I'm like, I'm looking at myself and I'm like, yeah, I'm actually changing for the better. So thank you. So that was that. So I pushed past the people not supporting me, because I was still able to get the Ruby. So and that was my goal. So I really didn't care about those who weren't supporting me. What else? What else was a struggle when so after I went Ruby, my sponsor kind of just, she was like, she hit a plateau. She was where she wanted to be in the business, where she, came in, wanted to get to. And at that point, it was like, wow, I went Ruby in a month. I want to go further. But I didn't know how to get there. So so at that point, she was like, I guess, tired from hitting all those ranks so quickly. So she had like stopped. And I needed that extra support and I didn't have it. So I literally had to start doing my own training calls, my own research and stuff like that, trying to figure things out on my own without a support of an upline. And that was the best thing that could have ever happened, y'all. I probably would have still been stuck at Ruby, still waiting for someone to do training for my new people and stuff like that, if it had not been for her taking that step back. So I can't be mad at her, because she caused me to like step up. It's like either you're gonna step up or you're gonna fall off. And I needed this. So I kept pushing through. Another struggle I'll say was me switching jobs, because remember I told you guys I became a school social worker after starting the opportunity. And a lot of times when people start, especially teachers, I see this a lot, you guys will take that break for the summer. You go hard during the summer, but soon as school starts back up, you're like, oh, I can take a break from my business now. And then your business suffers the whole year. And then the summertime, you try to come back around like, okay, I think I want to do this again. And that's like the worst thing that could happen. So if you're switching jobs and stuff like that, understand that you still need this business, because 9 times out of 10, the job that you're switching to is going to be the same situation, just a different location. So that was that. I think those were like all the struggles for me. Learning how to post. I had to learn, y'all. I learned by watching others. I learned by following others, and like kind of seeing how they marketed themselves. So I'm an observer. I'm able to pick up quickly by seeing what other people are doing, seeing what they're saying. I can pick the message, like, okay, I see what she's doing there. Like I can see stuff like that. And I have to attribute that to my education and my critical thinking skills. So I can't shade my education, but so much, because it did give me that critical thinking skills and that research, that ability to do research on my own. So those are my issues in the beginning. As a leader, being a leader is so hard, y'all, because you have to deal with feelings. You don't want to hurt people's feelings. You don't want to say the wrong thing.
You try to keep it straight.
Okay. You don't want to say the wrong thing. Well, that's me. My line name is crowd pleaser, y'all. So I really care about like what other people think about me. Like that's my line name. So I had to like get out of that and stuff like that and understand that like God put me in this place for a reason, and people are not going to enjoy everything that I have to say. But if it's out of love, and if it's out of me really wanting them to be successful for their own good, then I can't tweak what needs to be said, basically. So that has been a problem, not problem, but y'all know what I'm saying. That's been like a issue. What else have I had? I've gotten to place, like I'm at Double Diamond. I've been at Double Diamond for a year, which is a great place to be, but sometimes like you feel stuck. So I do feel stuck. Sometimes you have those people that will quit. Last year after 999 day, I was actually able to chart for a presidential diamond, and I was so excited about that. And then my Double Diamond quit. And then, one of my Double Diamonds quit and stuff like that. So that like kind of messed up my chart significantly. Did I stop? No, because at that point I was so like, you can't tell. I don't care if it takes me 3 more years to get to triple or whatever. Like I understand what I have my hands on. So I'm going to keep fighting until I find those runners. But it is hard when you lose that first person on your team who you thought was going to ride for you, who you thought was going to be there, and you guys are going to go to the top together. Mind you, she's not like a friend from back in the day. I met her through the business, and I still felt that way about her. So like when you start losing those people who you thought you needed to get to the next level, it does hurt, but you can't let it stop you. You have to keep going, y'all. So that's another thing that I had to deal with. What else? People talking about you. People are going to talk about you. They talked about Jesus, like you're not exempt. What else? I think those are like pretty much the main things.
Awesome. That was really good. Really, really good. Let's see who has the next question. Tori, are you here?
I am. I'm on my sister's phone. My phone was dead. So what does delayed gratification mean to you, and how has it played a role in your business in this journey?
Delayed gratification. So, that question is deep, Jazz. Okay. I have realized like there's so many lessons and blessings, y'all, in the storm and everything that you're going through. And so you may not understand like why God is taking certain people away, why God is bringing certain people to your business, why people are saying certain things about you, why people are thinking certain things, why people are not moving, why people said they want to, they need this extra money, but they're not working toward it. You may not understand, but it's the delayed gratification that I felt was like when I realized that like, yo, people might be coming here for one prayer, like one word, one sentence that God needed me to say for it to reach them. Like that literally might be why they paid $99. Like, I'm sorry you had to pay $99 just to hear that one prayer, but that might be why, they joined the business, just for that one thing. And then realizing that it's bigger than me. Like, it was like, wow, this is actually bigger than me. Like, it's not all about you, Tierra, and the goals that you're trying to achieve. Like this, when I tell you guys, this is all God, like it's all God. So, what else? The bonuses, y'all, I feel like that's a lot of delayed gratification too, because sometimes you're just working your business, not even realizing that those bonuses and stuff are coming. And like, then they'll just show up and it's like, wow, so that created this. And so it's just simply completing a step to success and, just working your business and not thinking like, okay, I gotta just don't think so hard about it. Just do it. And like, you'll get the delayed gratification later. So you'll get that check. You'll get the bonus, you'll get the commissions and stuff like that, especially when you get to those leadership levels, y'all. They really add up. You may not think that you're doing enough throughout the month, but then you get your check and you have those extra bonuses at the leadership levels and you're like, wow, so I guess I did do enough training, or I guess I did, teach them enough on getting their 4 LCs or stuff like that. So.
Awesome. I love talking about delayed gratification because we have that whole popcorn mentality, that instant gratification where, if we've been in the business for a month and, things aren't going the way that we want, it's just like we're out the door. We just want things to happen when we want them to happen. So I love that you talked about how it's all God and his timing.
And another thing, it took me a year to get from Ruby to Diamond. And even like the month when we went, you were there. You were there, Dad. So last year we went to the one conference. Remember, we had like 30 days to go Diamond, like when we left. And it was just like blowing my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to get Emerald this month so that I could get Diamond by the end of March. And I did not get Emerald in February. And I was just like, that's it for me. Like I needed to hit Emerald that month in order to go Diamond. Y'all, I hit Emerald like on the 25th of March and like Diamond on the 26th of March. So like, don't think that because it's not happening in your timing that it's not going to happen. And I worked my butt off to the last hour on like the last day of February. And everybody knows February is a short month. My daughter was 1 at the time. She literally got up on the bed, grabbed my hand, and started praying. And I was like, okay, that's God. Like he said, calm down, Tierra, I got you. So from that point forward, I was like, okay, I got this. So I just went into the next month and kept speaking diamond over my business, speaking diamond, saying that I was a diamond leader and stuff like that, and it happened. So that's another one.
Yes, that's a good one too. Thank you for sharing that. Kishana has the next question. Key there?
I'm sorry, y'all. Give me like swallow this food.
Okay. We can go to, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
Okay, so Tierra, I want to say hi because I watched your video when you were Ruby too. Like when I first joined, you were one of the people that I stalked a lot. So hey, girl.
Hi, I can't see you.
She want to see your face, Kishana. Kishana's pregnant too.
Congrats, girl.
Too.
Why you gotta put on blast?
There you go.
Okay. So
hey, girl.
I'm up here eating. My question is, how has your mindset changed over the course of this business? I know you kind of hit on it a little bit when you were talking about how, you went back and you saw the stuff you were posting in the beginning and kind of what you're posting now, but just an overall mindset, how has it changed for you?
Y'all, like, it's just, it amazes me, like, thinking back on it, because, like, my mind, and that's why, like, when I talk to college students, it's just like, baby, I know. Like, I know exactly how you feel. I know you think you got it. Like, I know you think everything's going to be good in life. You about to get this degree. And it just, like, because their mind is not there. And so I understand that. So first, my mindset changed when I stopped chasing after these different jobs, chasing after getting an extra 5K or extra 10K with switching jobs and stuff, and realizing that I had an opportunity in my lap that I could make whatever I wanted to make. I could put into it whatever I wanted to put into it. My mindset changed as far as my time. A lot of times we say we don't have time, but it's like, sis, like, you watch TV though, like, you're on your phone, like, just gossiping though, like, you're talking your whole commute to work, you're spending it talking on the phone about other people. Like, you could be using that time to, like, do self-development and stuff like that, and you're basically not. You're in the shower and you're listening to Beyonce and Jay-Z new album, but you could be listening about how to, like, grow your business. So, like, my mindset shifted in so many different ways when I learned to, like, use my time wisely. What else? When I learned that I told you guys, I saw the bigger picture and realized that it wasn't just about me. I'm not just doing this for me. This is God's work. My mindset shifted when I saw those other people, again, who looked like me, who had the good American jobs, but they were still needing another source of income and stuff. So it's like, even at the level that they are in their career, they still want, like, Arena, she was a 6-figure earner, with her full-time job, and she still needed, another source of income. So it's like, when will you be at a place where you feel comfortable and you feel like you need enough? You won't until you're debt free. And 9 times out of 10, we're not getting debt free by these everyday jobs and stuff like that. So that's been my biggest mind shift in the business. Like, realizing the difference, like, how the system works, basically. The system of going to college is like, and my pastor explains it as us being, like, in boxes and stuff. Like, as long as you stay over there in your box, like, society's good. Like, they're good with that. But once you realize, like, oh, this is how they do it over there, and you try to remove yourself from that box, that's when things are going to get a little shaky. And that's what you have to keep going through, the shaking and the beating and the pressing to get to the next box, because we're not meant to stay here. So.
So that's awesome. You talked about some of the things that happened over the course of your business as far as to make you realize that you needed to change your mindset. But how were you intentional about changing your mindset over the course of your business?
Okay, so personal development is, like, so important to me. So I basically would listen to different videos about the business, about network marketing and stuff like that. I was intentional by using my time wisely. So when I first started, my commute to work was like an hour. I had to drive my daughter to daycare 30 minutes out and then back the opposite direction to my job. So that was a lot of time that I could use to, like, just listen to videos and stuff like that. So that's how I've been intentional. I've also started reading books and stuff like that. I don't like to watch TV during the week because I feel like it just kills my brain cells. And it don't let me start watching a series or something on Netflix, girl. I can't stop. Okay. So, so I just realized like I cannot watch TV during the week because I know I will sit and binge, and then I will feel so guilty like, oh my God, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do with my business. So those are different ways that I've like been intentional with like protecting my time and stuff like that.
All right. Thank you, Kishana. Joy has a question about balance. Joy, you there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here. Hey, T.
Hey, Joy.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
You're welcome.
We can't hear you, Joy. You there?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. When you were a full-time employee, how did you balance working your business?
Okay, so and y'all, sometimes I forget until I realize like, oh yeah, I used to do this when I used to work. So one thing, opportunity calls. A lot of people always ask me, and like they feel like I don't have time because now I do like 5 opportunity calls in a day. Okay, like back to back opportunity calls. And one of my hugest tips is stop giving your potentials. Stop letting them schedule. You let them know what times you have available. So if you work and you don't get off until 4:00, then at 4:15 you say I'm available between 4:15 and 6:15. That means if you get 2 time slots in there or 3 time slots, those are the time slots you have available for the day, and it just makes it seem like you have something that's great to offer. Because if you only have one more slot left, you can tell them that. Some days I'll say like I'm scheduling for today and tomorrow between these times, which one works for you, which day works for you. So you still give them some freedom, but definitely put some boundaries on it so they're not scheduling like 2 weeks out, or a week out. Because we already know that if we schedule for next Friday, some people don't have money on Friday. So some people want to wait 2 more weeks to get paid again. And what is that doing to your business? That's not allowing you to work your business urgently. So with urgency. So that's like one huge tip of mine. So basically, I used to get off at 4:00. My opportunity calls would be scheduled from 4:00 until about probably like 8:00 at night. I will also do like group opportunity calls a lot. So if I knew that I couldn't, if I knew I couldn't get a lot of opportunity calls in throughout the day, what I would do is just like schedule one time for, that day and just say like, hey, are you available at 7:00? If so, I'll send you my invite. Please send me your phone number. And that's how I would get like 5 to 10 people on one opportunity call. Of course, 5 to 10 people, everybody's not going to sign up. But if I get 1 or 2 distributors from that, I'm content. So that's how I did that when I was working full time. Also, my lunch break, my bathroom breaks, my walks to the car would be spent in my cell phone. So I will park further away from the building or something like that so that I could shoot out a quick text while I'm walking. I did have the luxury of having my own office at my last job, so I could close the door. I was not very social at work. However, I got the job done because whatever my name is on, it's going to be done right. So I would still do my job, but like when I did have downtime, instead of you going out and sitting in other people's offices, talking to them and stuff like that, I spent that time working my business. So everybody has downtime at work. Like I've had like the little jobs where you have to drive from here and there. Like I'm telling you, I've done everything that you could possibly do within my field. So I know like the time constraints that we have. Those times where I had to be in the hospital with my foster care clients like till like 2 a.m, I'm on my phone working my business, because if I can't do nothing else, what am I going to do while I'm sitting in this emergency room? So just using your time wisely and not just like using your job as an excuse. If you want to get out of your job, don't use it as an excuse, use it as your why. Same thing with your children. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for that, T. And I have one more question. How do
Okay.
you find time to work your business? How do you find time to work your business now from home?
I do it the same way. So right now, my toddler is here with me throughout the day. My husband gets off of work around 3:30, so he's home by 4. My calls start around 4 o'clock, and they go up until as late as possible. I would say probably around 9. Like the latest I've done a call is probably like 9:30, and I'll just do one-on-one, the same like one-on-one calls and stuff like that. If I'm like allowing my team to do 3-way calls with me, I'll try to do a group call for myself, and then I'll do one-on-one calls for them, because I know that I can close people with group calls just as well as I can with a one-on-one call. So that's how I do that. I can text all day. I make sure I post. And thanks to Jazz, my team has been getting up at 5 a.m. in the morning to do these power hours, and they're life-changing. So we're able to get so much done. I have my post scheduled out for the whole day. Sometimes I have like extra time within the day to schedule my post for tomorrow so I can get more posts out there. And I message on my downtime. So if my daughter is sitting down on her tablet for 15 minutes, I can go ahead and message the people who I messaged earlier this morning back. So I do that. And I use the Captivate app so that I don't have to like sit and follow people all day, and the Cleaner app to clean up the people who aren't following me back.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes,
You're welcome.
I think you just covered what the last question was, and I know it's almost time to go. I know you got to get on your other call. So
You're good. We're covered.
Okay, cool. So the question that I have, and I'm going to open it up for anybody else who may have questions for you. Dang it, I just completely lost my train of thought, like the entire thing. I don't remember what I was about to ask you. Dang it, it'll come back to me. So does anybody have any questions for Tierra? I guess if you want to, I know what I was going to ask you. So can you talk about, because it's a lot of newbies on the call, it's a lot of people who are kind of in the business for a month or a couple of months, and they're still trying to like find their way. They are, messaging, but can you just talk about, not just messaging, but can you talk about the importance of having a good storefront? So as far as our social media, can you talk about branding and how branding yourself has really taken your business to a whole nother level, and how that has impacted your business and how people connect to you first before they connect to anything that we have?
Yes, I could definitely answer. I talked to my team about this, and I actually had to show them a visual. And Jazz, this might help you too. So basically what I explained, like, we are messaging people. We're following people that we don't know. What is the first thing that people see when you're following them or when you're messaging them? Your profile picture. So if your profile picture looks like you're a creep, or like that you live in a closet with no lighting whatsoever, is the person going to follow you back? Are they going to open the message that you sent them? Are they going to respond to the message? And are they going to be crazy enough to give you their phone number? Because that's what we're asking for, right? So you have to consider all of those things. Your picture, that profile picture is so important. Your name on Instagram. I had a girl, now I'm not even going to put her out there, but I had a girl on my team and her name was so negative, and it was like, sis, like, you're telling people that they're worthy of this opportunity, but your profile name says this. And so I had to encourage her to change it, and she still didn't. She ended up making another page, which I highly don't recommend, because you should be using your warm market and adding to that and stuff like that. So anyway, profile pictures are so important. Make sure that they're in good lighting. Make sure that you look happy. If you don't look happy, make sure you look pleasant and approachable. Make sure that people, if you ever like decide to put your page on private to get as many followers in as possible, make sure that when they see that picture in your bio, that they're going to want to actually see, like, who is this girl trying to follow me? Because if your picture doesn't make them do that, then they're not going to follow you back. I also encourage my team, like, don't use your Snapchat pictures as your profile picture on Instagram. Like, separate the two. Snapchat is Snapchat, Instagram is Instagram. Be yourself. Like, post a picture of yourself. You don't need the filter from Snapchat to be yourself. So I do encourage people to do that. Making sure, like, paying attention to, like, what you posted last. Sometimes I have to tell people, like, sis, you posted like 4 before and after pictures back to back. Like, make sure that you're posting a variation. So go to your page and see what you're missing. If you haven't posted a picture of your boo in like 2 weeks, then make sure, or in like 2 rows, make sure that you get a picture of your boo out there. If you haven't posted your child in like, the last 2 weeks or something like that, make sure that you're posting, like, that's your indication. Like, I need to post my baby today. I need to post a picture of me. I've been posting a picture of a lot of other people and shouting them out, but I haven't been posting myself. I have a lot of quotes going on here, but they haven't seen my face. If people are coming to your page and all they see is a whole bunch of other people, they're going to be like, who is this? Because that's what you should be thinking when you go to other people's pages, considering them for your business opportunity. If you can't see them and see who they are, then it's going to be the same situation when they get on your team. So that's my tip there. What else? Do you have any other specific questions regarding that?
No, I think you hit everything well. The only other thing that I think a lot of people struggle with is when you kind of connecting the dots between I'm sending out messages to people, but I haven't posted about my business or about my products in like 2 weeks, or I haven't, or I'm posting, negative stuff or, just crazy stuff, but we expect for people to respond to our messages. So understanding that when you send somebody a message, what are they going to do? They're going to go to your page and see who you are, and they're going to look at your page, and that is your storefront. So some of us think that, I'm sending out 25 messages a day about the opportunity. Well, if you're not talking about the opportunity and showing them what it is that the business is doing for you, how can that connection be made?
Yeah, and I'll have people also, like, they'll be in a business. You gonna post that little, I know y'all seen it today, people posting about Nike doing that little distributor thing. I don't know what they're doing. It's probably not even real. But everybody posting that, but you ain't posting nothing about your business in 2 weeks. Like, how can you possibly expect for people to support your business when you're over here branding for Nike when you're not going to get a check from them? Like, come on now.
That's right.
So you want to definitely make sure y'all that y'all have stuff up there, because that's the first thing they're going to do. What is this? And go to your page.
Right. Thank you. Anybody else have a question for us?
I saw a question from Princess. Said, when you lose that person, what happens to the people they signed? The people they signed don't go anywhere. So you can reach out to them. What I have learned is that it is more difficult for you to like build a relationship sometimes, not all the time, with the distributors that were signed by somebody else. But I have a lot of people that stuck around from that girl's team. And I have been able to like push them and stuff in the business. They haven't promoted in a while, but they still show up. So yeah, I think that it does mess with your team a little bit when they leave, when those people leave. It messes with their team and their success when their leader leaves.
Yes, that can be a little bit tricky. Anybody else have a question for Tierra?
I actually have a question.
Okay.
My question is leaning more towards the question about the profile picture. What I wanted to know is, when you talk about having a presentable profile picture, is it more of like should it be more of like a selfie, or can it be family oriented, or what do you think is the best?
Okay. Mine that I have up right now is actually a selfie that I took of myself. So I never post a picture of like me and my baby as my profile picture. And the reason why is because I need them to see my face. Like, I need them to see this is Tierra. They can learn about my family later. And I find that like when you're trying to post a picture of your whole family, sometimes the pictures be too far back. So if you're like looking like a stick figure in your little circle on Instagram, it's like, again, people may or may not follow you back because it's like, okay, who is this? They can't see you. So does that answer that question?
Yeah, it does. I was basically asking because at the present time, my profile picture is a picture of me and my boyfriend. So I was, thinking like, okay, should I change that? Because I never actually thought of it until you were talking about it. And I was like, oh God, should I change it? Or
And I would have to see it, but I feel like if you're questioning it, change it.
Okay.
If you feel like if you have to question it, I've never had myself and my husband as my profile picture. And I love him to death. That's my babe. But I haven't done it because I feel like I need to make connections with other women, and because I love working with women with the business and stuff like that, and I don't need nobody to be confused. Like, is this a couple page? Like, is this her boyfriend's page? I need them to know this is my page. Because sometimes I'll follow people who have their boyfriend. I'm like, is it the boy page or the girl page?
Okay, I completely understand. That basically answers my question.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So I just recently had like some really, really life-changing experiences. So I'm just wondering, like, because you've been doing this for a while. So like as these bumps come, like how do you stay afloat and how do you kind of like get back on track and kind of keep yourself focused?
What I constantly tell myself is that life is gonna happen regardless. Like, we can't stop life from happening. And as bad as life hurts, like, we cannot stop it from happening. In a Bible verse that I actually read, it said that life is full of drama. Like, if the Bible tells you that, like,
No, you're not.
to the bank. Life is full of drama. Like, we can't stop it from happening. One thing that I also told myself is, like, would I still show up to work if this situation happened? Would I still show up to work? If I would still go to work, then ain't no excuse for me not working my business, because I'm doing this for me. So why would I show up for somebody else if I can't show up for myself? Another thing that I would tell myself is that I have to get over it, and the only way for me to get over, I don't want to like get over it and feel like, dang, I gotta start over. If I would have just pushed through it, then I would have, like, it would be easier. Like, as I'm getting over it, I'm still working my business. So life happens to everybody, y'all. Like, seriously, take a couple of moments, but definitely get back in the game. Like, you don't want to take days off, weeks off, and stuff like that. And I do not know what you're going through. I don't. But I can honestly tell you there's probably someone else in the business who went through the same thing. And then if you also do your research and see like the difficult times that other people who are so successful in this business went through, like Ashley Hughes, she lost her freaking infant, okay? And she still went ambassador. Like, she lost her baby, okay? I would be in a corner somewhere like sick, okay? So I can't imagine anything like that. But people, like, you have to push through it. And like Fallon lost her brother. Again, I would be in the corner sick, but you have to push through it. So yeah.
Tierra, can I add something to that?
Yeah.
I think that another thing too, when it comes to life happening, like you said, we have to prepare ourselves. We have to know that life is gonna happen. Although it could be things that we never think would happen, they can. But if we create those that discipline and those routines and those things that we have things in place that we follow from day to day, we kind of can push past those things that we are going through, because we have kind of already have like a system in place, if that makes any sense. So I know for me, it could be that me and David are just not in agreement about something, and it's just driving me crazy. Mentally, I'm just not there, but I know that I can still push towards what I need to do because I have created a routine for myself. I have my 6 list there. I have my reminders set in my phone, and every time they go off, I might ignore the first 2, but by the end of the day, I know that I need to complete something for my business. And just holding tight to your why. Like, your why will push you. And I'm super proud of you, Tori, because, you know, you may slow down here and there, but you never give up. And that's the main thing, you know, have your moment, but keep pushing. So that's just something else that works for me whenever I'm feeling like I'm going through something, is to have those things in place so that when I'm down, I can still keep going.
Yeah, and I would also add, like, I'm kind of having that situation right now too. So I could have like made an excuse like, no, Jazz, you know, it's not the best time for me to get on the call today because I'm not in the best spirit. But like, who is that going to help? Like, seriously, if you understand that you're in the business of helping other people, like, why would I do that? So, again, God is going to bless you when you're putting yourself out there and pushing through the hard spots, because he could be putting you through that for a reason. It could be someone who's going to join your team who's going through the same thing, and they need your light in your situation and what you did to get them out of it. So,
yes. Keisha said, what causes a leader to leave if they are experiencing success in this business?
Girl, I didn't heard it all. So I honestly, like, that's hard for me to answer because I can't see myself leaving the business. I can't speak for anyone else's circumstance. Because that ain't me.
Right.
I ain't going nowhere. I'm a lifer. But I can't really answer that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's so many different reasons why people say it. I think some of it also ties back into that whole delayed gratification. They may feel stuck. Like things happen and they have a hard time finding their groove back. You never know. You never know.
Well, she said they're experiencing success. Like, I've had my ambassador upline, like, she left. I can't tell you guys why I can't.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. And the thing is, I don't want to know. I honestly and genuinely don't want to know because I don't need nothing to taint what I got going on over here. Like, the spirit that I have, the love that I have for this business, I don't need nothing to touch this. Like, so I sometimes unfollow people. Like, you leave, boo, love you, gotta go. Like, can't follow you no more. So yeah.
Yeah. Guard your gates. Absolutely. Anybody else?
I have a question.
Hey, Cece.
Hey, what advice do you have for a person who kind of lacks in having that confidence with the posting and the messaging and getting people engaged?
Very good question, girl, because that used to be me.
Yeah.
So what I used to do, like, in the beginning, I tell people, and I always joke about this, when I first started the business, I would not post often at all. Like, before I would post something, I would send it to my cousins, like, do you think this is a cute picture to post? Like, what you think? Before I would post, I would send her, like, a couple of options. And I started this business, and I was like, Tierra, you cannot do this. Like, come on now. You just have to put it out there. So as you're just in the business, and like we constantly say, like, your why should be bigger than anything else. And if you are 9 times out of 10, if you're not okay with posting or messaging and stuff like that, it's because you're so concerned about the outcome. You're so concerned about the no's. You're so concerned about what people are going to think. And you can't be concerned about getting to where you want to be in those things. Like, they can't live together. So are you going to be more concerned about your goals and where you're trying to go, or what these people think about you? Because they're going to think something regardless, whether you're struggling or you're not. So that's how I looked at that, and I just pushed past it. The live videos and stuff like that, I used to didn't do that. And basically, whenever it's something that I have a hard time doing, I basically challenged myself to do it more often. So I did like a 30-day challenge where I went live on Instagram every single day. I found topics on Google, and I just found something to talk about, even if it was like a spot on the floor or something like that I need to vacuum up. I would just go live and talk about, like, how often do y'all vacuum your house, just finding something to talk about to make you more comfortable doing that. So now if I want to go live, I can just do it without thinking twice. I don't care about how I look. I don't have to be in a full face of makeup or something like that to go live. So does that answer that question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
All right, one more question out there before we let Tierra go.
Can I just throw something out there really quick? So I think it's like really important that people understand when you guys say that, you know, your why has to be an extremely strong foundation, because like the biggest thing for me, a lot of what my why was has recently changed. So that has really like thrown me off of my path. So as far as just really, really making sure that your why is really strong and really something that is never changing, like it's like super, super important. I just wanted to stress that a little bit more.
Yeah. And I think your why is supposed to change in this business. So that's a good thing that it is changing, because it's like you come in and you're so small minded, you don't even know what you truly have your hands on. But when you realize how many other parts of your life this opportunity can touch, it's okay for you to like switch it up. Like, okay, I want to do this now. I think I'm gonna go for that now. So that's the beauty of this opportunity.
Yes, constantly changing. All right, one last question. Anybody going once, going twice? Y'all quiet tonight. All righty, well, I guess that is it. So thank you so much, T, for getting on and taking the time to be here with us. We really, really appreciate you. We know that